My hands trembled uncontrollably as my parents demanded $4,000 monthly from my salary, their faces twisted with cruel entitlement. 7 years ago, they'd thrown me out like garbage when I begged for tuition help. Now the courtroom fell deathly silent as my sister suddenly erupted, her desperate confession making the judge's eyes widen in disbelief. Greed destroys its own house. My palms left sweaty prints on the acceptance letter as I stared at my parents across the kitchen table. Their faces had transformed from casual disinterest to something harder, something I'd seen before, but never this nakedly. Diana, Mom said, not quite meeting my eyes, we haven't planned to help with your college education at all. The partial scholarship certificate in my hand, the one I'd stayed up countless nights earning, the one that would cover half my tuition, suddenly felt worthless. The kitchen walls seemed to close and his dad's next words registered. In fact, it's time for you to move out. We've decided to give your room to your nephew. I couldn't breathe. 7 years of watching my sister Olivia receive everything while I received nothing had prepared me for disappointment. But not this, not homelessness at 18, not total abandonment while they continued supporting my dropout sister and her child. But where am I supposed to go? My voice emerged as a whisper, foreign to my own ears. You're an adult now. Mom replied, her voice turning cold as she gestured toward the door. It's time you took care of yourself. The room situation is non-negotiable. My name is Fiona. I'm 25 and a corporate department head. This is the story of how I rebuilt my life after my family discarded me and how justice finally found them in a courtroom. I had always known I was second choice in my family. Born 5 years after my sister, Olivia, I grew up watching the stark contrast in how we were treated when I needed new shoes. Because mine had holes, Mom would dismiss me with, "We just bought you shoes last year," but Olivia could casually mention liking something, and it would appear in her room the next day. The pattern was crystal clear. During one particular morning when I was 12, Olivia was sprawled on the couch texting on her brand new just because phone from our parents. "I don't want to go to college," she announced during breakfast, "it's pointless and boring. I'd rather just stay home." Mom nearly dropped her coffee cup, "But honey, what about your future?" "Well," Dad started cautiously. "We were planning to pay for any college you choose, even if it's in another state." Olivia's entire demeanor transformed instantly. "Wait, any college, even one far away from here?" "Of course, sweetheart," Mom jumped in. "We want what's best for you." "In that case," Olivia's eyes lit up. "I want to go to Pacific State. It's perfect, and it's 3 states away." I sat there pushing cereal around my bowl, already knowing that when my time came, the conversation would be very different, but I had my own plans. While Olivia coasted through high school with mediocre grades and an active social life, I buried myself in studies. It wasn't just about proving something, it was about survival. I watched her leave for college with fully paid tuition and a new wardrobe while I saved every dollar from babysitting and tutoring. Then came the call that changed everything. Olivia, 3 months into her 3rd year, was pregnant and the father wasn't in the picture, a phrase I'd hear repeated countless times. My parents immediately told her to come home, promising to take care of everything. A few months later, our house filled with the sounds of a newborn boy, just like that. My parents had a grandson to dote on. Olivia settled into staying home all day with the baby, showing zero interest in finding work or finishing her degree. "I'm a full-time mom now," she'd say proudly whenever anyone mentioned working. "That's the most important job in the world." Meanwhile, I had been studying harder than ever. My efforts paid off with acceptance to the local community college and that partial scholarship, the one now seeming to disintegrate in my hands as my parents explained they had no intention of helping me. That night, after being told to leave my home, I walked aimlessly through the neighborhood, my mind racing with panic. Then, like a light cutting through fog, I remembered Julia. We'd been friends since middle school. My hands shook as I called her. Julia lived in a beautiful apartment downtown, a graduation gift from her wealthy parents. When I arrived, she took one look at my tear-stained face and pulled me into a tight hug. "You're staying with me," she declared, leading me inside for as long as you need, no arguments. The next morning, Julia called her parents and asked them to come over. I tried to protest, but she wouldn't hear it. "They'll want to help. Fiona just let them. Mr. and Mrs. Brooks arrived within the hour." They listened intently as I reluctantly shared my story, trying to keep my voice steady. "This is unacceptable," Mr. Brooks said, when I finished, his face red with anger. "No parent should treat their child this way. Julia, your mother and I will pay for fear. Education." I started to shake my head. "Please." "I couldn't. You don't need to pay it back," Mr. Brooks added. "Consider it an investment in a bright young woman's future. I appreciate it more than I can say." I insisted, "But I need to pay it back, please. It would mean everything to have your help, but I want to earn it." They exchanged glances and Mr. Brooks nodded with what looked like respect. I wrote out a formal receipt right then and there, my hand trembling slightly as I signed it. The next few days passed in a blur of adjustment. One evening, I saw a recruitment ad in the cafe near campus. I told Julia about it, and she unexpectedly replied that we should apply together. I was surprised. Julia had never worked before. She'd never needed to. We both got hired. Working together turned out to be more fun than either of us expected. We'd come home exhausted, but laughing, smelling like coffee, and sharing stories about difficult customers during one Sunday dinner at her parents' house, Mrs. Brooks pulled me aside. "I need to thank you, Fiona," she said softly. "Julia's different. Now, more responsible, more independent. Before you moved in, she never thought about working or managing her own money. Now, she hasn't asked us for extra cash in months. She's growing up, and I think a lot of that is because of your influence." "That's not because of me," I protested. "Julia's always been amazing." Mr. Brooks joined us, smiling. "True, but you've shown her a different way of looking at things. You know what she told me yesterday? She said she's proud of earning her own spending money. Our Julia proud of working at a cafe." It was a damn nice confession. Community college might not have had the prestige of State University where Olivia had dropped out, but I was determined to make the most of it. I threw myself into every opportunity: academic competitions, student leadership programs, extra credit projects, anything that could help me stand out. The state business competition had been a turning point.